So I'm with Christopher Martinez, who has the sickest art displayed here at the Alvin College Art Gallery. And so you're a retired Navy chief,
Correct.
and you kind of shifted over to the arts at
Right.
UHCL. What was it that had you shift to the art world, and was it something that you had a passion for before the Navy?
No, honestly, the reason I switched over to art was because I wanted to get into the easiest degree program just so I can utilize my GI Bill. When I retired from the Navy, everybody was like, "Oh, I was a helicopter mechanic." They're like, "Oh, you can go work at the airport and work on airplanes." I'm like, "I don't want to do none of that. I don't. I want to get far away from maintenance and working hard. I'm retired. I don't want to work hard. I want to do something that I enjoy." So I went to the college and I was like, "What's the easiest degree plan?" And they're like, "Well, we have this design stuff," but I really wanted to go for photography, and so they put me in the design foundations or whatever, and it's supposed to be a graphic design type thing, but I really didn't do well on the graphic design side, so I really enjoyed the studio stuff. Like I said, I met your sister in photography and then in ceramics, so ceramics really is what caught me and really kept me going back, honestly. And then from ceramics it was sculpture, but yeah, no, there was
Yeah.
nothing I wanted to do initially before I joined the school. There was I had no aspirations in art at all,
That's
honestly.
very interesting because you are very talented looking at
I
your work
appreciate it.
here at the
Thank
art
you.
gallery. And so you practice a few mediums. You do bronze sculptures to sheet metal to woodwork projects to digital photography and oil painting. What kind of introduced you to each of these mediums? And are you able to use your talents from one medium to help you with another?
Absolutely. So basically, the reason why I have so many different mediums is going through learning the process of each medium, just going through the courses at the school, going through the university, learning, you have to take a painting class, you have to take a ceramics course and a sculpture. So just working with my hands really keeps me going. And I think ceramics, working with my hand, and it really like mentally chills me out. It's like you can be going through anything, and then if you're on the wheel throwing, even though it could be frustrating at times, it's kind of really therapeutic. And the same with metalwork, working with sheet metal. You can let out frustrations, banging on metal. It's hot, it's hard work, but you get that physical exertion out, and it'll help you relax. So I think working through and learning the processes of each medium is why I have so many different mediums out there. I'm not a specialist in anything. I don't even think I'm that great of an artist. I don't think I'm really that good. I don't consider myself an artist a lot of times until now. But um, now when I paint, I made my own. If you see the frames of my paintings, I built those. So working through the wood shop, learning how to make frames, how to float the frames. Um, so yeah, these pieces, they intertwine. Some of the woodworking skills that I picked up at school, are the basis of some of my pieces. Learning to hang the pieces, just working with the wood and some of the metal pieces, learning different tricks of the trade. We have great professors over there that they take the time to show you. If you're really interested in something, they'll take the time to show you what you need to learn, and how to do, make your pieces work. I hope that answers that question.
Got it. No, absolutely. And I want to talk about your Chicano
Okay.
Boulevard painting.
Yeah.
Can you explain what Chicano Boulevard is in Houston
hmm
and along with your interest in cars?
Uh, so I grew up in Pasadena, right down the road, and I'm a Chicano person. My family is Chicano. Um, so we grew up, and my mom had family over in Magnolia area of Houston, and we would go down there sometimes just as, on the weekend, and we would see these lowrider cars. And when I first saw it, it was something that just I was hooked from a little kid. I saw these lowriders driving around with the hydraulics and everything moving around. So that really caught my eye, and I've always wanted to have a lowrider, to build a lowrider, and I love the cruising scene. And it's not shown here, but when I first started in photography, that was the majority of my photography, was all cars. That was in the car scene. I was out there shooting, digital 35 millimeter, even with the 120. All of my photography was, you know, lowrider related, and it was something I was really interested. So when I got into a painting class, I was trying to figure out what to paint, and I was trying to paint some stuff from memory, and the professor was like, "You need a reference photo because it's not working. What you're working on is not working." So I was like, "All right." So I went and grabbed a photo that I could work with, and like I said, all of my photography was cars. And that night, just the people that Chicano Boulevard painting, we have people out there, and it's at a place in Houston called Rabbit's Got the Gun. And what Chicano Boulevard is essentially just kind of reinvigorating the Chicano pride in Houston. It's you know they do a lot of stuff for kind of charity stuff, a lot of awareness stuff. I'm not in deep with them, but when they first started, I was there, and I would kind of photograph all their stuff. Anytime they had a meet, I got away from it for a while, just from school, staying busy. I've got a family. Um, I got away from it, which I wish, I need to get back to it. But I really enjoyed the scene. I really enjoyed, the people out there. Everybody was just welcoming, and there's no big egos out there of whose car is better or whatever. You don't get this big ego thing. Everybody's just welcoming. It's kind of like everybody just come and chill, hang out, and just that vibe is why I wanted to paint that. When I got that image, I was like, not only the car, but the vibe of the people hanging, being together, hanging out, having a good time. They have playing music, food and drinks, and it's just a good group of people out there.
Community,
Yeah,
yeah.
community, exactly. They come together, and they do a lot of stuff for the community now, and they're growing. So you may see some stuff on social media about Chicano Boulevard. I'm not a part of them, but I enjoy what they do. And so yeah, that painting started as a photograph, and I just figured I really like that car. I think it's like a '54 Mercury. I'm not sure, but yeah, David, the owner, he's prior military as well. He's a retired Marine, and a couple of the guys that are out there, part of it, also military. So there was that connection too. So um, I really like his car, and that kind of drew me to it. So I was like, let me try to paint this, and it started working. I still have some finishing touches to put on it, but I enjoy that painting a lot.
Look, I did a double take on that painting. I was literally like walking by, and then I turned around and I was like, wait a second, that is so sick. And I had to take a picture of it. It was awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
And so, what brought your work to Alvin College with being a student at UHCL?
So with this show, originally, I believe it was supposed to be held at UHCL. However, Michaela, the one that I'm showing with, there was a timing issue that wasn't working with her, and I was just kind of taking a ride with her. I'm like, hey, we're both graduating at the same time. We both have to do a show. Why don't we do it together? And she was like, yeah, let's do that because we'll help each other out. And so that was the plan. And then I guess things fell apart timing wise for her over there, and I was just like, hey, it's whatever. We'll do it wherever. I'm not, whatever's available to her. I was, I'm retired. I don't have a whole lot,
Yeah.
pushing me one way or the other. So I was like, hey, I'm free. I'm flexible. Let's do whatever. And she said, oh, we knew Angela, the photography
Yeah.
professor here. So I met her at UHCL. We both knew her from UHCL. So Angela's here now, and I guess she spoke to Angela, and then Angela spoke to me, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So the space was available, and we made it happen, and everything kind of just worked out. It's a great space, and I think that we brought just enough work for the space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, super sick gallery. I love it. I have to check out the UHCL one. I haven't been there yet. But is there anything that you would like to say to any art students that are trying to pursue just the mediums that you're doing right now?
I would say, dip your toe in everything. You don't know. I went in for photography, and in my show, I only have 2 images, and everything else. I fell in love with ceramics, fell in love with metalwork, sculpture, even stone sculpture. I would say if you have a chance to try all the mediums, try them all. Some people focus on painting or photography, and they just want to do that, which that's fine. But if you venture out a little bit, you might find another passion. You might, something might pull you away. Like ceramics pulled me away from photography for a little while. and then sculpture pulled me away. So now I'm kind of like go back and forth from sculpture to ceramics, and I would just say, you know, try a little bit of everything, and give it some time, let the work marinate. Just kind of sit on it. Because sometimes we make something and then we're like, it's not whatever, and then you sit on it for a while and you're like, okay, maybe this will work. So just take your time, try to dabble in a little bit of everything, I think.